Hey guys, so you are enjoying our CT5-V Blackwing content? Well, I got one little side quest here before we can finish this because, well, I'm just not done with it yet. I got a stock one coming in from a nut job, also known as StreetSpeed717, and we're going to do a slightly different build. We're going to do a Magnuson and headers. So let's get to it. So here's how, like, part of the video where I go over the comments. Honestly, there weren't any great comments except for one. So comment of the week goes to this one. Can you take my son for a ride in your E-Ray? Text Y for yes and N for hot 2 and spit on that thing for sure. That's the comment of the week. I don't even know how to answer that. Just don't. I'll take your son for a ride. Fine. It's just whatever. Okay, back to the video.
We're back.
Oh no.
Damn it! I wanted to enter this one too!
For the caddy one?
Yeah!
It's still there.
And here we have a YouTuber in their native environment taking their thumbmil, struggling to hold a 100-pound blower.
This YouTube stuff is hard work. My new car!
Oh, I love these seats!
Yeah, they're nice, man.
That was heavy. Had to get that.
See you, Mike!
Oh, bye, buddy.
Dude, I'm sweating now.
Had to lift that supercharger for like 20 seconds. There he goes. Legit, the magnet.
My gosh, this car is like pristine. It's bone stock. As far as I can tell, it doesn't even have upgraded wheels. It might have like an optional coated wheel, or he might have had them powder coated, or the previous owner. Are those?
These are factory.
Those are factory bronze wheels. Okay, so we've stooped that far. But as you can see, bone stock, and miraculously, this thing for a 22 is just perfectly clean. Like the engine bay, unbelievable. So we're gonna mess that up in a sec. But until we do that, let's get some baseline numbers. I got her strapped down to the dyno here, and I actually did that. I didn't have anybody else do it this time. Matt tried to help though.
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh, these seats. Oh, I love this car. I really want this car so much. I can't believe it's a giveaway. He can't even sell it to me because it's a giveaway. Bastard. Okay, let's find out. These things are just freaking nuts. 624 baseline, and it says 688 foot-pounds of torque, but that's not real. The RPM reader just didn't catch that part. It's more like 570 torque. Let's see. It's probably around 570, maybe 580 torque, somewhere in there. But that's ridiculous. Bone stock. So there it is. We got two manual CT5Vs that dynoed over 620 rear wheel horsepower stock. That's nuts. Completely nuts. Let's do some more pulls and see how she holds up. Honestly, guys, I cannot believe how well this thing does. It is completely freaking nuts. It timed 633 on the second pull, and then, without hesitating, backed it up with the 623. Basically, I got the wheels to stop, and then I started them right away. That's just insane. This car is nuts. I love it. I love it so much.
like just the right amount of burbles.
Yeah, no. 1,000 valves open.
Man, man, that happened really fast. How's this thing look? It doesn't look like it's, you know, bad. I mean, it ran really good, so, but with these direct injection engines, sometimes you get a lot of carbon buildup like on the valves. I can't even see in there right now. Can you see in there? No? Looks fine. We're gonna run it anyway, so what does it matter?
Well, we need that, so.
What?
The computer.
Not yet. We're gonna run it on the factory tune first.
Oh.
Yeah. You should be able to run this on the factory tune, just the Magnuson alone. Now, obviously, it's not as simple as the Magnuson alone because there is no Magnuson kit for this. At least, not from Magnuson. There will be one from us. I did see the boost district, so I assume that this is, you know, the tune thing. But I did see the boost district did not offer a tune with their package. It looks like it's just a hot rod kit marked up a lot with a fuel line added, and that's kind of what we're gonna take a look here and see if that works. So that would be really cool if it does.
Now I have a question. Since I watched your video on this car on the dyno, I saw it spiked to 32 degrees of timing. With the Magnuson on it, will it run 32 degrees?
Did it spike to 32? I thought it went up to 27.
No, it spiked to 32.
I don't know if that's true. We're gonna have to see the video evidence before we answer this question. But I don't think 32 is in there. There's a spread of 32 degrees at the full throttle-ish area. It might not be entirely full throttle. This area down here might be more full throttle, but like there's a spread of a lot of spark advance here that probably, I don't know, I don't think it should be there. So upon further reflection, thanks to Matt being correct.
I have that on video now.
Yeah, the factory does command up to 32 degrees. I don't know that it delivered that. I can't remember that. And neither can Matt, thank God. So, but I do recall something like 28, 29. It did ramp up like right at the end. And yeah, I imagine this probably does it too. It should avoid that area, or it will tune itself out, because what happens is when it starts pulling timing, it kind of remembers those zones, and then it maintains a level there that should, you know, just keep everything safe. So we'll review that. We'll make sure that everything's okay.
Alright, we got Max here putting the finishing touches on, just topping off the fluids with some water.
This was low when it came in.
Huh. Thank you for that insight.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. First start of the CT5-V Blackwing with the factory tune. This computer is bone stock. It's under yonder here. And fire up. Fires right up. Look at that. Not even a check engine light so far. We haven't gotten far enough to know if we're gonna not have a check engine light, but I mean, so far so good. Look at that. That is awesome. Dyno time. gang. So now is the moment of truth. This is gonna be the exciting part because this thing dynoed really, really well from the factory. It dynoed at 633 and 617 foot-pounds of torque. As you see, you know, based on the video, it ramps up the timing rate in the end, as Matt has confirmed earlier in this video. And, well now, bolt-on Magnuson 2650, no tune, factory intake, the 90 millimeter pulley, factory throttle body, you know, basically everything factory, including the factory computer, factory tune, untouched. So warranty, powertrain warranty would still be present, not really voidable unless you take it to the dealership, you know, with this. I'm not recommending do that. Like if it blows up, then it's on you. Really, don't you know, cause a failure and then make GM pay for it. But I don't think that that's what's going to happen. We're going to double check it right now and get those answers, see what kind of gains. Is it going to be safe? Is it not going to be safe? Because this car has factory widebands and the ability to basically self-tune itself. It should just run and be awesome. And if it doesn't run and be awesome, well, we're going to tune it anyway because we got headers to install with cats. Then we want to like tweak things a little bit and maybe even add a little bit of boost. We'll find out what happens. Okay. Let's do it. Fans on. Look, turning all the fans on right now. Setting up the computer. Again, Mike's name in here. CT5-V. I gotta remember that it's like not a CTS-V. And StreetSpeed717's. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so as we wait for the car to warm up, this is the first time I'm actually looking at what the tune is doing. And what I'm seeing right now is that the fuel trims are actually really close to stock. This thing is actually like, you know, doing a really good job just by itself. Ah! What the hell? Okay, now that's warmed up. Let's see what she does. First pull.
681.
Wow. It threw a check engine light. It could just be from the tires not spinning, because it does throw a check engine light for that, but yeah, let's see it.
Looks like somewhere in the high end it may have pulled a little bit of timing before ramping it back in.
Well, maybe it's just hitting that like oddity. 32 degrees. So we'll run it again, but it looks to me like it's the wheel speed throwing the check engine light, which is common on the Global B stuff. I'm going to double check the codes, but I think this is going to be a codeless install with a bunch of extra horsepower. So that's pretty cool. So I can confirm that the only check engine lights are on because of the dyno right now. In terms of how it actually performed, it looks like we're seeing about 11 PSI. It does ramp up to 27 degrees of timing. There's no knock retard from what I see. The fuel trims are almost perfect, which is amazing. And the temperatures start at 115 degrees. And by the end of the pull, it's still at 115 degrees, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to run it again for good measure. I don't think that we're going to be able to get rid of that weird oddity in the dyno graph, because it's part of the tune where it ramps up really fast in the high end. 32 degrees. When we get to tuning, we can adjust those things, but I think as is, you know, we're seeing this thing do a really good job, and something that will hold the power out throughout, you know, a very long pull, as opposed to where the factory blower runs into its heat soak. So let's run it a couple more times, and then, you know, maybe rip around on the street. Like, who cares? What did it do?
686.
I wonder if it can hit close. I mean, look, if we're doing STD numbers, it's over 700, but 686, that's a pretty big gain. Pretty good. Yeah, I don't think this thing needs a tune. I think it's actually doing a great, like, need is a strong word. Need is like, does this need a tune? No, it doesn't need. Can it benefit from a tune? Yes, I believe it can benefit from a tune. But a tune is also quite a bit more expensive. But granted, the Magnuson's expensive, so I would probably do this in conjunction with a tune. But we're gonna test headers next. So these numbers are looking really, really good. I mean, this is without any tuning. You can see from the factory tune to this one that it's really picked up throughout the whole RPM band. Like, we've got more torque, although the torque's a little bit of a misread here. It's more like 616-ish foot-pounds of torque, at least peak torque. It's, I don't know, it looks higher. Is that right? It says 616, but it's like higher than this part. Oh, it has a little blip from the factory one as well, so it's like 606 to 616, yeah. And then so, you know, otherwise it just continues to pick up in the important parts, the higher RPM, where it's in, you know, what I would consider the racing band. And, you know, the only thing that I want to do now is I'd like to just try to refill the heat exchanger, just to make sure that if there's any extra air bubbles in there, that we get them all out. So we're going to do that before the next pull, and then ideally, you know, we're set up. So Max, would you be able to do that?
Sure thing, boss.
Okay.
Well, how'd the AFRs look?
Good. I mean, it's all global B, so it's like wideband controlled.
Really?
So it's like, it tunes itself. And it was actually really close with the factory intake. It was within 5%. It's a normal correction factor, so
that's cool.
It's solid. It basically tunes itself. It's wonderful.
So visit cspracing.com, buy yourself a Magnuson.
Yeah. We'll actually come out with a CSP fit kit for the Magnuson for this. That way, because Magnuson doesn't offer anything for the CT5-V, so we'll just have a fit kit for it so you can get it on yours. I mean, keep those low, cool temperatures, and, you know, just bolt on an extra 50 horsepower while using the factory tune. We'll see if doing headers adds to that, and then what we can gain from extra from tuning. So really, I mean, this turns it into a 7. So what's this rated at? 640 from the factory? 650, something like
I
that?
thought it was like 658, 680.
We'll have to check, but, you know,
I think it's 683.
Whatever it is, add about 55 horsepower. So because we went up, you know, a decent bit. We went up 45. We went up 55 horsepower. Was it 55? 33. Math. 55 horsepower. We gained 55 horsepower from, you know, just plopping this on with the factory tune, factory boost level. And of course, this thing has like all the room in the world. It'll make 1200 on this car if you let it. Not with a factory engine or anything like that, but it has the potential to, you know, go pretty darn far. And it could be ported too. The sky's the limit. So that's awesome. This thing's knucking fucked. And I love it.
So you're going to try and make that work, and it's not going to work.
I'm going to try to make it work. I'm going to try to make knucking fucks wait.
See?
Knucking futts. I'm going to try to make knucking futts a household thing that gets kids in trouble.
All right, well,
Okay, let's get that final dyno pull and just double check. As temperatures are going up, of course, we're getting a little hotter. So if we gain power, then there were some air bubbles that we didn't get rid of. And if we lose power, then, you know, that's probably just the normal trajectory of heat soak, which you could use an inner chiller. Okay, street speed. Meh. Do. Cool. Well, I mean, I think that's as far as we get without actually tuning this thing. We're getting somewhere between 26 and 28 degrees of timing up top. It is hotter today than it was on the black CT5-V, so it's tough to exactly compare things, but man, that's some good numbers from just bolting it on with the factory tune. 688. I can't actually tell, unfortunately, because the computer's not unlocked. I can't tell a couple things because some of the data that I log for the Global B stuff is just not there. It's not available unless the computer's unlocked. Normally, what we'll see is a lot of this other stuff that I log, like intake, cam angle, desired angle, stuff like that, in order to determine whether we're close to being out of fuel or not. So we won't find that out until after we do the headers and the tune. So you're just gonna have to subscribe to the next videos. That way you see how this thing does on the headers and the tuning, you know, when we unlock the full potential and really go for the goal, bolt-on only on this thing. So that's gonna be awesome. So I'll see you then. Adios. This thing is just driving so nice. I mean, you can't even tell that it's modified. You can't tell that we've got an extra 55 wheel horsepower here just cruising around. It is, for lack of a better term, it is a stock car, or at least stock how it should have come. The CT5-V Blackwing is an incredible car. It drives so nice. It's so comfortable. I could see this easily being one of my favorite cars as well. And you know what? What's really nice about this one is we've got some extra power. Woo! Wow, I snapped the limiter a little more. Oh, wow. Wow. This thing boogies. Oh my gosh. You know, the Magnuson install on this, I think, even though it says it's only a 55 horsepower, you know, it's a little misleading because it's just not going to heat soak the same way as the factory blower. But oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. I love this car. I can't believe it's a giveaway. I know that you can go to StreetSpeed, or was it SS717supply.com or 717supply.com, whatever it is, you know, and you can buy a t-shirt and possibly win this thing. I think you should. This thing is nuts. I love it. I love it so very much. I want it so much. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good. I wonder if it could hook up in first gear. I wonder if there's any cops around.
Famous last words.
Oh my gosh, this thing's so good. This thing is so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. I'm really happy. This is working on the factory tune, no check engine lights. This thing is just the jam. We'll have a fit kit available for it. I highly recommend it. It's you know, basically we're going to sell a hot rod kit. We're going to add a 90mm pulley that puts it at about factory boost level, and then we're going to have our fuel stuff, valve cover upgrade. If you want the valve cover upgrade, I recommend you do it for ease of install. And likely we'll add a catch cam. Then we'll have other, you know, opportunities like our 3D printed elbow and stuff like that, you know, to maybe get a little bit extra flow out of it. We'll test that in the next videos. But this thing is awesome. Ugh, love it.